everybody, and I apologize for the delay on this recap. Last week I did it and then the audio was cutting out, so now I'm redoing it again. I'm just gonna backtrack to the beginning of February when we started our chest roll adventure together, and I'm gonna do a recap for that one. First, let's check out the combo. This combo was definitely a longer one, so I'm not surprised it took us multiple weeks to go over it. Let's get started. I start this combo with my right hip facing towards my audience. That way I can face my audience at the very end. The first roll that we did was a half roll with it falling off the back of our arm. The reason why we want it to fall off is so we can grab it and go into that backwards weave. If you allow the hoop to go all the way up to your shoulder, it's going to be really difficult for you to grab the hoop underneath that outstretched arm. What we're looking for here is a really nice pendulum roll, bringing it directly through the thumb and the index finger, the nice upward release. Nice and gentle. It shouldn't be a toss at all, so we want to avoid that kind of motion. You can just use a combination of this swing to the side of your body, or if you're doing it in a wall plane behind your body, and you're just going to bring the hoop up, and then you're going to open your hand and almost extend forward. That's a good way to remember to keep your elbow from bending. One more time, up the arm, falling off the side so you can kind of tilt it out a little bit, grabbing thumb facing up, bust into your backwards weave. So backwards weaves, just as a reminder, is a pinky-led weave, and you're making a nice little infinity symbol in front of you. Now we're in our backwards weave, and we're going to go into the C rolls that we learned. Before you pop into a C roll, I want to make sure that you have a base knowledge of how to do one of them. They're also referred to as lazy rolls. I like anything that's a little bit lazy and floppy, and that's exactly what this move is. So you are sending the hoop palm facing up. So it is like a palm up chest roll, but instead of a palm facing up chest roll like so, we're going to be more like so. You can practice the trajectory of this move without even doing a roll. Just use your index finger to bring it in towards your forearm and let the top of the hoop fall towards your other arm. Bring it up, let it fall. Bring it up, let it fall. It's supposed to hit your chest, and it might want to do that naturally, but if it doesn't, maybe you want to push your index finger in just a little bit more towards your body as you release it. So there's not much to it, it just takes a little bit of practice. You can almost imagine without rolling it, it's just tipping over like that. Okay, but with a little bit of your chest making contact and here. Once you start to get the feel of that, of the trajectory of it, you can start to practice with tapping the hoop on your forearm. You also want a little bit of an angle. You want to tilt the hoop in just a little bit towards the center of your body. And as you can see, I'm using a little help from my index finger and a little raise from my arm. You practice this one, both hands. Now we're going to learn how to pop into that C roll from the backwards weave. It's a little bit of a different approach. For this combo, you'll be holding the hoop in your left hand and doing your backwards weave, something you might need to practice. And then when you're ready, you're going to do a little bit of a get over here kind of motion with your left hand. As it approaches the left side, which is the same side that's holding the hoop, you're going to open and get ready for that C roll. Once you do that C roll, you're going to be back in the position that you started training these in, which is palm facing up, index finger. So capturing with my index finger, sending up with my index finger. It's a great way to feel a little bit more in control, is having the support of your index finger underneath. In this combo, we're doing 3 C rolls in total to end up in our right hand at the end. We'll be starting from our left, doing the backwards weave, and we're going to pop into that C roll. Oops. I'm going to do one more, and then another. So then we end up in our right hand. This is where we're going to go into what I call a chest roll fake out. So you can use this if you're feeling not confident about a roll you're about to go into, and just pretend like you meant to do this. This is what I'm talking about here. Giving the hoop a hug and coming around. We're going to imagine that we're about to go into a palm facing up chest roll. Same position. Because we'll be facing this way already, we're going to rotate away. I want to bring the hoop in towards me, touch the forearm in towards my face, but now I'm going to turn 90 degrees to the left as I join with my other arm. The hoop is now resting on my chest. And I'm just going to roll the hoop to my left as I turn another 90 degrees with my feet, and then another 90 degrees. So it's kind of like doing a barrel roll, but I call it a chest roll fake out. This is what it looks like in real time. Hopefully you got that. We're going to go into what is called a two-handed Z spin, I think. So from here, when we're in this position, we're going to continue to roll this way, but this time we're not going to switch our body position. We're just going to swing out. And I told some of you to imagine this as a big cookie. And this side of the cookie is the one with all the chocolate chips. And then this is the back side. It's the nice golden brown part. That's how you know they're done. We are showing the chocolate chip side. If you have maybe a connector on your hoop, like I do right here, you can say, okay, this is the chocolate chip side. And as we swing here, we're still showing the chocolate chip side. And then we're going to rotate towards the right. And then we're going to flip the hoop so that we're seeing the chocolate chip side again. There it is. We're going to swing down, rotate to the front. We're going to flip the hoop or turn the hoop so that we can swing back down. I'll show you that from the back. You can do that as many times as you want, or you can just do it one time. This is where we're going to pop into a full chest roll, palm facing up. After you complete your two-handed Z spin, you're going to remove that left hand and use this momentum to pop into your palm facing up chest roll. This one is a little tricky because you are actually turning as you chest roll. So I would get into this position first, rotate as you bring it up, and then rotate and do your chest roll. Once you're feeling comfortable with that, you can start to swing into this position and then really start to swing into making it one smooth motion. Again, the index finger is your friend here, using that index finger to guide the hoop and keep it upright here. Once you are ready to roll, you're going to use that index finger to push it into your forearm. You can also use a little bit of a lift as well. Pushing out, opening, and capturing, hopefully palm facing up in the left arm. Now that you've nailed that chest roll, your back should be now facing your audience. You will be facing back towards them shortly. So this only happens for a moment. Now I'm here in my left arm, palm facing up. I just nailed that chest roll, and then I'm going to turn towards the hoop so that the hoop and I are perpendicular, my chest and the hoop. And I'm going to let the hoop fall in front of me as I turn towards it. So right now it's in front of me, but if I turn this way, I can let the hoop just kind of swing down. So I've got the hoop here in my right hand, I let it fall, swing, and grab. That's when I'm going to pop into my isolation, or I can go right into my right hand one-handed isolation. And then I'm ready to do that forearm roll. The way that I like to teach this is by saying, put your hand, your palm facing out and say stop, and really keep that arm out, because a lot of the times people will bring their arm in before they do the toss. The idea is to roll it over the back of the hand or the arm, or you can toss it. There's a couple ways you can do this, but this is rolls class, so we're going to be rolling it. So I want you to imagine if you were doing this from a hand spin, or if you're doing it from stationary, I want you to imagine you're using more of the fingertips rather than wrapping your whole hand around it, because you want the fingertips to help you until the very last minute. You're going to be creating this J shape, like whatever, right underneath your forearm, rolling it over the arm. Notice how I really brought it all the way underneath. I had virtually no grip at the end. It was just swinging on my fingertips. I actually end up using maybe 1 or 2 fingers near the very end just to roll it over the arm. We're gonna roll it over and capture it in that left arm. I've got my arm out straight, roll it under, and capture. Now my thumb is facing up. I'm gonna swing the hoop to my left side, and we're going to roll that hoop back behind us. This is what the move looks in real time. We capture, swing, and roll. You're gonna have to maybe work on that one a little bit, but basically, you know, you're kind of using a lot of wrist at the end of it. Use a nice fingertip grip, so a nice loose grip, not a death grip. If you're using a death grip, it's gonna be really hard to let that hoop roll behind you. So nice fingertip grip. And again, I'm using my index finger to help control it. So let me do the combo one more time for you. Rolling half roll, letting it fall off the side of my forearm. Grabbing it underneath my right arm with my left hand, thumb facing up. Going back into a backwards weave and popping up into a C roll. We're going to do 3 of those using my index finger to touch it to my forearm, and then I'm going to start to think about turning to my left as I bring it in towards my forearm and my chest. Grabbing with the left hand now, rolling to my left again, taking this 90 degrees at a time, ending it up at the front. I'm going to show my chocolate chip cookie to my left. I'm going to show you the back of the cookie, and then I'm going to show you the front of the cookie again. And then I'm going to let go now with my left arm and swing the hoop across the front of my body as I rotate again to my left. Start to think about bringing the hoop up for a chest roll, palm facing up, bringing that index finger in just a little bit so it touches the forearm first. And I'm going to pop into the chest roll as I rotate another 90 degrees. Catching it in my left arm, palm facing up. I'm going to let the hoop swing down behind me, but more importantly, I'm going to turn towards my audience now and grab the hoop in this position, getting ready for either a 2-handed isolation or a 1-handed clockwise rotation. And then I'm going to put my left arm out front, and as I'm thinking about ending this isolation, I'm going to do that little J shape underneath. Grab with my left arm, thumb facing up, swing it in front, and roll it behind. So hopefully you found that informative and useful. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me anytime. And feel free to share a video of you doing this combo. I would love for you to tag me or just share it with me privately. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you again next week.